Hello everybody, Floppy Hat Photos back here again for another episode of my Be Positive van build. And today I already shot a little bit of it showing my Reflectix insulation on my passenger side rear window cover up. And now I've got the full panel in there. I went ahead and left the Reflectix on the wheel well. I've got access to it. I can flip it up and get underneath there because there's still the hole where the seatbelt was. I've got to figure out if I'm going to actually weld that in or if I'm going to JB weld it in. I think I'll probably just JB weld it in. So a couple other little things that ended up happening is the paneling. The Reflectix was long enough that it covered up over top of that little piece. I don't know if I'm going to clamp it under or if I'm going to basically just let it stick out and jam the rest of my insulation or flooring up underneath there. So I still don't even know what flooring I'm going with this thing. I am a guy who just kind of builds, and then when I get to the next step that I can't solve it, I go from there. So I'm not over paranoid about making sure I have every single thing worked out. And one of those is going to be a prime example right here of these are the screw hole that I missed, and the screw hole that went through to hit that 2x2. So that was definitely a screw up on my part, and I've got a couple, I ended up with 3 extra holes in there. Not really a big deal, because I got a feeling there's going to be a shelf on that wall. If not, I'll probably come back in here with a little bit of tung oil or teak oil and touch that up a little bit, kind of hide it if I don't put a shelf in. But so far, not that bad. I also did find a weird, I don't know if she's going to show up on camera here or not. There's a weird dull spot there where that big knot is over there on the left side of the screen. That is, it's like the varnish, the finish didn't take there very well. I didn't get it fully covered or something. So you can see I've got a bunch of sheet metal screws up through there, screwed into all the panels. There's a bunch of them along there, then down the far side, which you can't really see because it lights in it wrong. That's a little chunk that sticks out weirdly, and it was no real way of hiding it. So I just covered up. I might cut the Reflectix off there and just have the metal exposed. I don't know exactly yet, but I'll work on that as time goes along. So then I put screws along the bottom here to hold it into place, and this was all done by myself without assistance. And then I ran them up the back here also, and it was definitely not the easiest thing I've ever done. Trying to hold the panel, get it lined up, getting it level, getting it pushed into the place where it needs to be and stuff. It was kind of a pain in the butt, but so far I'm loving the look of it. I'm absolutely loving the idea of having insulation, all stuff behind it. I've got multiple layers of the stuff for the soft touch, I think it is, and then I also have the layer of the Reflectix, and I did paint the layer of Reflectix, and I'm not sure if you can actually see that out here or not. Let's see here. If you look closely, like I said, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. You can see the wood. That's where my screw I missed right there. Definitely kind of pain in the butt, unfortunately. Yeah, you can see it a lot better that way. I'm going to pull that screw back out so I don't see it from out here. Screw it back in underneath. I'll be good to go. And the insulation is a little bit noticeable. I should have painted this board black also before I put it in. The next one will be painted black before I put it in there. So, and I also will make sure I mark the exact height from the floor and that, so I know exactly where it's at as well. So part of the reason was this ended up at a crooked angle because I was being a little bit lazy and didn't take the time to actually fit it dead perfect where I wanted it, and it's going to work where it is. So happy with the turnout. Like I said, I don't think it's that bad. You can kind of see the little bit of Reflectix in there, but it's not going to be a problem. This is the worst it'll ever be. I've got direct sun at my back, so this is the worst it is. I'm good with it. So anyway, that's what I got for right now. Show you this little part I was talking about here in the front with that little piece stuck out. That right there is where that chunk is sticking out of there. I'm going to come back in here. There's a gap behind it. I got to finish filling that with Great Stuff foam. I wanted to get this done first and then throw the Great Stuff in there so I don't have to have the smell in the van. I'll throw that in that gap. I'm not sure if it's showing up or not. There's a little gap right there. And I will throw the Great Stuff in there before I head in tonight and let it cure up because I didn't want the smell in the van here while I'm working in it. So next I'm going to start working on that side, and then my panel actually stops right about here. It doesn't actually go all the way to the end. I got to patch it in later, but that's going to be down the road and not my problem. So I haven't said I'm going to put a cabinet there or what I'm doing with that exactly yet. I got to figure out and work it around that seat belt because that seat belt up there is going to be a bit of a problem for me, and figuring out how to build the cabinet around it. So anyway, happy with what I got. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to show up here or not. See, I got to get a better lighting because it's way too bright out there and the doors are open and it's letting light in. So anyway, that's what we got for right now. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Get out there, make sure whatever your adventures are, just keep them positive.